Act 1, Scene 7. In this scene, we really get a sense of how Lady Macbeth can manipulate her husband and what control she has over him. So let's go through the scene real quick. This is Macbeth's first soliloquy, where we actually get a sense of what he's feeling, what he's thinking, and we get this internal debate. He is not quite sure if they should go ahead with the plan. So you sense this mental anguish that he's going through. He believes it would be best if it were done quick. He questions the consequences as well. He hopes that it would be the be-all and end-all, but he knows that this would just start a whole barrel of problems. It would come back to haunt him or plague the inventor. But it's not only that, he's having cold feet because he feels that Duncan doesn't deserve to die. And he lists a bunch of reasons. He says that Duncan is here in his castle in double trust. One, he's my loyal friend, and I'm his host. But also, he has been so kind of late, borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office that his virtue will plead like angels. And to finish off the soliloquy and the debate that he's having, he knows that he has no spur to prick the sides of my intent. He has no reason to do this, and he identifies that it's ambition that is pushing him forward. And it seems that at the end of the soliloquy that he sort of decides that he is not going to move forward with the plan until he speaks to Lady Macbeth. So when he gets the chance to speak to her, he says, "We will proceed no further in this business. Lady Macbeth will have none of this." Remember that she already knew that he was too kind, full of the milk of kindness. So this is where she really needs to step forward and convince him by any means that they need to proceed, because she's got the eye on the prize. The crown is what she wants. So she tries several different strategies to convince him that he should proceed with the murder of Duncan. So she starts off by saying, "Was the hope drunk? Was your ambition just a drunken dream before? From this time such I account thy love. I thought you loved me. Are you afraid? Are you a coward, not a man?" Again, using cowardice. You're being a little bit of a chicken right now. What animal did this? What animal were you before? And straight up accusing him of not being a man. And then we get to one of the most poignant arguments that she presents to try to convince him to go ahead with the plan. And it's concerning a baby. Essentially, she's saying, if I had promised you something, I would have gone through with it. I would, while my baby was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from the boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you had done with this. She's just saying how far she is willing to go if she had promised to do something. At that point, Macbeth sort of backs off, and it seems that he's weakened, that he is sort of convinced by his wife. And he asks the question, but what if we fail? Her response is, then we fail. Once she realizes she has him back now, she goes into the plan. And she says, when Duncan is asleep, that's when we'll start things up. And she, with the chamberlains, she will with wine and talk to them and get them drunk to the point where they pass out. What can they not do to an unguarded Duncan? And they plan on framing these spongy officers, and they will be held accountable for Duncan's death. So they plan on using the daggers from the guards to kill Duncan and then pin the murder on the sleeping guards. Act 1 finishes with a plan that has been set in place, all because of 3 witches' prophecy and 2 characters with uncontrolled ambition. One last note about this scene. She mentions that she knows what it's like and knows how tender it is to love the baby that milks me. So one way you can interpret this is she knows what it's like to plan something, nourish it, and bring it to light. Just like this plan to murder the king. But more popularly, people believe that this may be an indication that she knows what it's like to have a baby, to birth it, to raise it, to nourish it, but it's later mentioned that they have no children. So maybe people have taken this one single line and proposed the idea that perhaps they had lost a child. There is no mention of them having any children. There's the pattern of sons and fathers throughout this whole play, and one of the only characters missing that pattern is Macbeth. Maybe that missing piece is what this family is trying to fill with their ambition. Maybe this gives an excuse for the behavior of Lady Macbeth and Macbeth.